Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire. All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to another Railway Empire video. In this one, we are going to revisit the Great Britain and Ireland scenario, Transport Revolution. And we're going to go get ourselves a perfect score. And in doing so, I want to show you kind of how you transition from your initial build into a city building kind of mode that's very organized using warehouses, and also allows you to have city to city passenger and mail lines, which are highly profitable. So you grow large cities and you have your pass through warehouses that help you grow, and you also have the passenger and mail lines that make great money, and you can do all this fairly easily. It's not a horrible process. So let's walk through that. I think it'll help everybody to kind of see how to transition from your initial setup, particularly in these scenarios, into something that both grows cities and makes a lot of money. So we're going to start with 800K in Liverpool, 3 competitors on very hard. And of course, we have to use the Trickster. She's our only option. And a quick word on the Trickster. The auctions are going to help out later on as we start to buy some industries that we need to place in the right places. So there's some help there. But I don't think and I've said this before, I don't think her research is as bad as it looks, because while she doesn't get much research herself, she'll get 3 times as many spies. So if we are really good at setting up our economy, which we plan to be, then we can use those spies to go out and get us technology. So our research will not lag that much behind. We just have to make sure we have opponents. Now, we wouldn't want an option, once her opponents are gone, her research is gone too, really. So let's go in and play as the Trickster. All right, so our first task is to connect Manchester and Liverpool. So if we look at the map, we've got Meat and Wrexham, Ham and Wrexham, Ham and Liverpool, cider in Manchester, Leeds has cider, Ham, and Hull has cider. So we've got your basic beer, meat, beer, meat, beer kind of thing going here. So what we want to do, what I'm planning on doing here actually, is running a 2-city cluster, Liverpool to Manchester, and another 2-city cluster, Hull to Leeds. And Manchester Leeds will just be kind of a pass-through. It'll be just a connector. And then we'll connect over to Wrexham too. So we want to have lines running everywhere. Now what we also want to do is look at where the goods are coming from. There are 1, 2, 3, and then way down the road, 4 goods that can come from this side of our little obvious straight line between these cities. Most of the goods will come over here. But we will start, because the apples and the fish are primary, we will start with our first pass-through warehouse will be over on this side. But what we're going to do first here is connect these up, and we're going to start using our usual kind of rapid expansion kind of a deal. We're going to go to Liverpool, and then we're going to orientate the station the same way and leave enough space for a station over here that could expand in Manchester. Then we'll run a line between Manchester and Liverpool. There, our first task is done. And then we're going to run our second line so that it comes on the side where the station opens up, where the station is going to expand. That'll make later expansion easier, and make sure that the 2 stations are oriented the same way, and that way that this relationship holds on both sides. So we're not going to build our supply towers yet. We're going to go with that maintenance. We don't need no stinking maintenance approach, and for a while. And we're just going to run our lines like so. But our first line is going to be an automatic line. We want automatic because we want to start hauling. We want full trains as we can get. They're small cities, so we want to haul that ham and cider as well as passengers and mail. So we're going to do automatic line. We're going to run 4 trains between Liverpool and Manchester. Then we'll go over here and hook Leeds into the system. So we'll have a second station in Manchester. And we'll have the same orientation for its matching station over here in Leeds. We're going to move it back away from the river so that there's room to put the junctions in before the river. Like so. Put our second set of tracks where the station is going to expand, or in the direction the station will expand. And again, we'll run an automatic track. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to go out here and put in another station back to back in Leeds. Same orientation over here in Hull. In Hull, we want enough room to be able to swing around this river like so. So let's move out this way a little bit, because we know we're going to have goods coming from over here into the system. So we'll give ourselves some space to work. Then we'll set up our line to Leeds. We can't build over there, so we'll come right down here. And we do not want that big long bridge. But we also don't want a 17-degree slope. So what we're going to do is drive this down into the ground. That's there. So there were 3 degree, 2 degree, 0. Beautiful. And let's go get some more money. Probably notice I only opened 1 bond. You're going to hear about that on my next sharing community contributions video. Why I did that. Okay, so run city to city automatic line. And we need to hook in Wrexham, and we'll have all 5 of the cities we have access to ready to roll. So let's go open another bond. And we'll take a market crier. And an inventor, yes. Definitely take an inventor. And right now we're working on having 8 trains with $4,500 average profit, or 4,500 pounds average profit. And we're running a lot of trains, so that will not be a problem. Over here to Wrexham with the matching orientation. Move it back a little bit from the river. I think we'll keep that. We'll keep that bridge fairly long to get us a nice flat run. Now I'm going to set this one up as automatic in anticipation of things that we'll probably do later. But this one could easily be set as a passenger mail only. But in effect, it is, because it's meat to meat right now. There's no goods that could be moved, so it basically is a passenger only line. Okay. So we got 6 of our trains. Won't be long before we have 8. And I'm going to hire these conductors, even though they don't really help me much. All right, there's our task completed. So let's see what we have to do next. We're in March of our first year, so we're looking good. And I'm just letting this run to accumulate a little funds because I know what I want to do next. All right, so we've got 2 cities, 35,000, London and Liverpool. Of course, we can't go to Liverpool yet. We're blocked out. You also notice we have no competitors on the map, although there are 3 competitors who are basically keeping pace with us. At least 2 of them are. So obviously there's some investing going on here that is not, how should I say this, not showing up on the game yet because these people haven't come out yet. And I think the idea is that, pardon me, we're setting the pace. We are going to go out and prove that railroads work. And once we do, all these other companies are going to come and join the party. So what we want to do here is set up I want to have 2 city clusters, Liverpool to Manchester, and a second one Leeds to Hull. We'll do Liverpool to Manchester first. We're going to set up a warehouse so that we can run goods. Are we? You know what? On this side, there's only 3 or way down the road. Salt is needed. That's way down the road. Milk will come up later, but the fish and apples we definitely want right away. So what we're going to do here is set up a line. We're going to expand this. We're going to set up a line, a city-to-city line, between Manchester and Liverpool. Like we need about 150 to get that line going. And we're going to put our crossings so that you can only use the new platform. And I could have done that as a point-to-point connection. It's the same net effect. When you put a line that comes out like this, and there's none over here. In fact, we could even, to make it more clear, we can delete that and see these trains are coming into platform 1. Now it's a point-to-point, and over here it's the same thing. It's a point-to-point. If we delete that, it's the exact same thing. All right, so in fact, we got a little money back. So now we can run a train back and forth between here and here and make it a freight-only train. And it will carry our meat and beer back and forth between the two cities. And then what we can do now is turn these guys into passenger and mail lines. So let's copy that setup and go out here to each one of these and paste that setup. Now we've got 4 passenger mail lines running between Liverpool and Manchester. We also have our goods running, and we can use this line we've just set up to bring these goods into that system. So we can set up a train that's going to haul fish See, we're getting nice express lines here. This is good. Make some extra money. We don't have to be the lady to make money on express lines. She just makes more. And I think we want to get rid of those guys. All right. So now we can run a train into Liverpool, but we're not going to have it run full. We can run a train into Manchester. Again, it's not going to run full. So that should give us fish for both of them. Now we'll set up the apples. And I actually left out a step here, didn't I? Well, we'll set up the apples, and I'll tell you what I mean. Well, what I've left out is you've got to get the pigs into the meat and the apples into the cider. Now up here, this one will have to come by land because we can't build up there. But we can get this apple into Hull. We'll allow Overland to feed Leeds. We'll run our pig line up to Liverpool, and we'll run our apples down to Manchester. So what we're going to do here with the apples to Manchester is we're going to set up a station here. You know what, we're just going to go ahead and take the longer route just to keep it all consistent. We're going to run over here. Now, this hill we don't mind at all because trains are going down that hill at a 10-degree slope, which means that if anything, they'll just go faster. Running back empty, they won't have any problem coming back. And a professor at this point would be rather useful. So we'll run a train to Liverpool. And we'll run 3 trains to Manchester since it has the cider. Okay. So we've got our goods going back and forth. We've got fish and apples coming in, and I saw a market crier. We're going to ask for more people, and we're also going to slow down and get those conductors assigned on these lines. Liverpool to Manchester. Conductor. There we go. Now we're getting no suitable freight between Liverpool and Manchester. That's because we've just now put the apples in and we didn't put the pigs in. So we need to get the pigs going to directly into Liverpool. That's our next step. Should have already done this, but no matter. Okay, we're going to close out a bond to get enough money to get this set up. And we could do a passing lane here, but we're going to run it all the way out. Okay, that is 57 days, so it needs one more to get under 50 average, which is what I like to shoot for to start with, and then one to grow on. So we'll run 3 trains in there. And our equipment, we're starting to get equipment issues, so let's replace all the trains. Okay, we're getting, pardon me, we're getting growth in both cities. We've got our beer meat line set up and everything is looking good there. We can't do barley, unfortunately, yet, but that's okay. So now we want to set up the same kind of a deal over here in Hull and Leeds. And it's going to be very difficult to get fish over there. We've got apples over here. So what we're going to do on this side, and plus all our other stuff is over here. So we're going to set up a warehouse and set up our first pass-through warehouse. And we're going to use, do we want to use the big boys? No, what we're going to do to save some money, because it's all we really need, we're going to use a big warehouse. Place it like so. Then we'll expand Hull and expand Leeds and run a dedicated line for our freight running over here to the warehouse. Mediators do not help us right now. All right, we've got Manchester and Liverpool growing. Looking good. My directional signal's the wrong way. We certainly wouldn't want to drive on the left in England, would we? All right. And I've messed it up again. Okay, so now we'll set up a pass-through warehouse line, which is freight only. And we will convert this, our original line, to a passenger or mail line. There, now we've got passenger mail running between the two cities we're going to grow, and we can start feeding this warehouse. We can put in the apples for sure. That's the one thing we can use right now. So let's put in, we're going to put in barley. Oh, do we want to buy that? Oh, man. Do we want the meat in Liverpool? No, because it's just fine. It's just what needs to be there. We're good. Okay, we want the apples. Fish are going to be hard to get over here. And that's all we can do right now. So basically, we want to start running apples. Now, we have a choice here. We can run apples directly into Hull and into the warehouse. I think we're just going to run them to the warehouse and make sure that we have trains that are going to get those apples back. And we're going to use priorities on these setups, you'll see as we go along, to make sure that we're getting all the goods into the cities from these pass-through warehouses. And of course I've forgotten to put my switch in here. Well, let's just make him an apple train. And let's give him a buddy. Okay. Continuing to get our city growth in Liverpool and Manchester. Okay, they can use beef. Okay, good. Well, now we can start a pass-through warehouse on the other side, and it's going to have a little more activity because it can pick up beef and potatoes and logs and barley at a minimum, and probably something else. Let's see. A big warehouse. Expand and expand and track 3. Okay, we've finished. We've got our 2 cities grown to 35. Now we'll get new tasks. Produce tweed. So let's stop right here for the first episode. We have gotten, we've got the start of 2 pass-through warehouses, which will set up our two city clusters. We've got goods running into Liverpool, Manchester over here. In addition, we've got Liverpool, Manchester growing nicely. A little later on, we'll get Leeds and Hull growing nicely as well. Now we got to get into the tweed business, and we'll talk about how to do that in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railway Empire video. Thank you.